Okay, very good. Now, see this candlestick that my mouse is moving. You can see it is on June 10. Okay, let me write it out. Let me try and write it. Okay, it's actually still open. And this, okay. Okay, not this one. Please, coming. Okay. Now, see this candlestick that I circled. See this candlestick. It shows what? Massive sell-offs. This was when Ethereum dumped to $17,000. Okay. Now, if you check it from here, Ethereum started when they started the last quantitative tightening. Ethereum started from $30,600 and ended at where? Ended at, you can see it, this candlestick is still at June. Ended at what? 20,000. Then it go down to as low as 17,000. You get? So there's another quantitative tightening that started today. Gradually, there will be down. People will be selling coins because the government is also selling. But there are factors that will change, that can change this thing, which are what I will explain after this class. Good. Now, today's class, I'm talking about Cardano Vasil Hardfork. This is also a very good thing. And sorry for doing the introduction. My name is Ajayi Ayinde, and what I'm committed to is liberating people in Africa financially using Web3 and financial tips. So if you have my number, you must have been seeing my status, dropping update about crypto. This is my number. I already wrote it down. You can do well to message me so you'll be able to see my status. Now, today I'm talking about Hardfork. But before then, let me just tell you what Cardano is. Cardano is a POS coin. That is, it works on proof of stake. I explained what proof of stake is yesterday. I explained what proof of stake yesterday. If you are not in class, and you must have seen on my status, I made a recap of it and I sent it to the group. You can request for it after this class. So Cardano is a POS coin. Let me just put it there. And yes, they are making something called Hardfork. Now, the word fork means change in programming code in crypto. Change in programming code. That's the meaning of fork. F-O-R-K. If you have a pen, if you have a note, you can actually write things down. Now, fork means an updated or new version of programming code. So it is either updated or they make a new version. Programming codes, they are cryptography. You understand? It is cryptography that actually keeps crypto going, and that is why they call it cryptocurrency, because they are currency that works on cryptography. Now, if you're not trying to change this code of this cryptography, or you are trying to update them in order to bring in new features, is what we call fork. Okay, good. Please let me know in the comment section if you are with me. Let me know by typing yes. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if you are still with me. Please let me know by typing yes. Let me know in the comment section by typing yes. Let me know. Thank you. Good. Now, soft fork. Soft fork means there will be no alteration in the code. That is, the code will still remain the same. Miners will still keep on adding block. You understand? Just like, let's assume that you have a room already and you want to upgrade your room, but you are not packing out of the room. That means things can be changed in the room. Maybe the way you handle your mirror, the way you handle your chair, the way you place your TV, that's a soft fork. Now imagine you now moving from one room to another room. That is, you neglect one room totally to move to another room. That is hard fork. So that means when a crypto project is doing hard fork, it means they are changing the code entirely. That is, they are writing something different. And when they write something different, it means miners will have to do something different in order to continue mining blocks. Now, you must have heard of some coins like Litecoin, like Ethereum Classic, like Bitcoin Cash. These coins are not really, they are not created on their own. They are hard fork of another coin. I repeat after me. Be saying it in your own mind. Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, they are not unique code of their own. They are created as the hard fork of Bitcoin and Ethereum. For instance, Ethereum Classic is an hard fork of Ethereum. The reason why Ethereum Classic is an hard fork of Ethereum is because there was a time that Ethereum was hacked. I think that was 2017 or 2018. Ethereum was hacked, and this man, Victor Buterin, said it will not be good to actually continue this blockchain with the hack. You want to return people's money back to them, and you don't want to tarnish the name of this of our project. So they changed the code of it. They changed the code of Ethereum. So the ones that hackers were able to later mine now was now the one that turned to Ethereum Classic. The original one is the Ethereum, but the ones that they changed, maybe because hackers has hacked it, was the Ethereum Classic. Another thing is Litecoin. Litecoin is a fork of Bitcoin, and that is why they call it digital silver. You must have heard of it. Bitcoin is digital gold. Why Litecoin is digital silver? Let me bold it. So this code, they created Litecoin by a hard fork of Bitcoin. That is how. So now when you make an hard fork, when you change the code entirely, you can add new features. And one of the features they add to it was because they created more Litecoin in supply. Bitcoin has a mass supply of 21 million, but Litecoin has a mass supply of 84 million, and that's the reason because of the hard fork. If you're a programmer, if you can read code, you will see that Bitcoin is very, very similar to Bitcoin. Another hard fork coin is Bitcoin Cash. If you notice that Bitcoin Cash has a similar address to Bitcoin, it is because it is an hard fork of Bitcoin. At least they changed the code of BTC to create Bitcoin Cash. Why did they change it? Because Bitcoin cannot process more transactions faster. Bitcoin can only process around 5 to 7 transactions per second. That's the meaning of this TPS you are seeing. TPS means transaction per second. So they now created Bitcoin Cash to process 60 transactions per second. That's an upgrade to what? That's an upgrade to Bitcoin, right? Good. Now, other examples of intra-blockchain hard forks are Ethereum London hard fork that made Ethereum to be deflationary. Another one is Cardano Vasil hard fork. We notice that there are now Cardano tokens existing. Some of them are muesli swap, which I'm involved. Some of them are dexes like MainSwap, muesli swap. It's because of this Alonso hard fork. You understand? But Ethereum hard fork, what it brings was that it makes Ethereum more deflationary. And now there is a new hard fork called Vasil hard fork. Right? So, and that's the reason why I actually explain what hard fork is. Now, going to the next slide. Hard fork. See, let me tell you something. The major reason behind this hard fork is they want. Let me show you something. Roadmap of Cardano. Okay. Why this one is loading? Now, admit. Okay, so the major reason behind this hard fork is scalability. See, you should be asking that why is it that all projects are after scalability? Ethereum is after scalability, Solana was after scalability, Agora was after scalability. A scalable blockchain is a adapted blockchain. When a blockchain is scalable, more and more people will use, because people don't really want to waste their time waiting for 1 hour before their transaction get delivered. They want it fast. People don't really want to wait. So there was this hard fork that came, Alonso hard fork, that came to Cardano. That was last year, September. This turned out to be disappointment because developers find it hard to use the USTO models. You understand? USTO models means amount of crypto that remains after a transaction has been made. Right? So Cardano was so slow that per second it can only process 2 transactions. It is so slow. So what they are focusing majorly now is what? Scalability. They want Cardano to be very fast. That if you send Cardano to your friend, within a blink of an eye, you've seen it, just like what Solana and Agora has done. They are the 2 most fastest crypto blockchain in crypto space. Okay. Now let's continue. Okay. Next slide. So it focuses on scalability. Now I can tell you that by the time this hard fork gets to be a success, it will be easy for Cardano to trade above $4. My students that are in my main group, I've already given them the coin to buy. Yes, for a long time purpose. Me, I'm a long term thinker. So that's why all this noise that are into the market, all this company is saying BTC, market is down, it doesn't really get to me. You get good. Now, more technicalities of the Cardano art block. When I said it's focused on scalability, it doesn't focus only on scalability. Other thing is what? They focus on security. See, let me tell you something. A good blockchain must have three properties, which is number one, scalability, number two is security, number three is decentralization. Now, I can tell you that hardly will you see a blockchain to have these three. Bitcoin is secured, Bitcoin is secured, but it is not scalable. Ethereum is secured, it's decentralized. Ethereum is secured, it is not scalable, it is not 100% decentralized. Solana is scalable, Solana is scalable, Solana is decentralized, but it is not 100% secured. So a complete project must have this three property. And Ethereum, the major thing Ethereum is focusing on is scalability, so as Cardano. So by the time this Vasil Hardfork starts, there will be more, by the time it's launched, there will be more tokens launching on Cardano network. That means there is an additional use case for Cardano. And when there is use case for a project, surviving bear markets, rising during the bull markets are always very, very easy. They are always very, very easy. You get? Now, that is that. Now, impact of the Cardano Hardfork. Actually, there are more technicalities than this. But if I start saying the technicalities like the reference plate, like the Plutus improvement, like the CIP 321, CIP 322, CIP, you guys do not understand because it is more technical and it's only for those that has more knowledge of programming. So I try to place this class as simple as ever. Okay. Now, impact of the Hardfork on Cardano price. A successful Hardfork means more scalability in blockchain. When a blockchain is scalable, there will be high demand. The higher the demand, the higher the price. The reason why, see, one thing you should know about crypto industry is that it works on the basis of what? Supply and demand. When there is more supply, the price goes down. When there is more demand, the price goes up. And that's why projects are actually fighting on burning their tokens. They want it to be more deflationary so that the demand will be high. You get good. So by the time, if this comes to be a success, which I believe to be a success, Ada will be. Now, if this turns out to be a success, oh. Now, if this turns out to be a success, other price will be trading by $5. Now, let me tell you something. The next real bull run is predicted to start by early 2024. That is the next Bitcoin halving. However, before then, we'll be seeing some gains in the market. Like Ethereum, Bitcoin can even get to $50,000. It can even get to $60,000. But unless we cross the previous all-time high of 68,900, we are still in the bull run. So we are still in the bear run rather. So the bear run is going to be long, it's going to be faster, it's going to be strong. There will be volatility, but then we are still going to be in the bull run. You get. So if you're actually going to buy, if you're actually going to start buying your coins, there are factors you should take note of, and that will be another incentive for this class. Please, if you have a barrel, all these factors they always occur every 3 months. And that's why at times you see that if you are a futures trader, you see that at times you are trading futures, you are analyzing the market and it's going around you and it's going against what you've analyzed. This is because the fundamental factors are always stronger than technical factors. Now, incentives for day 2. Okay, please let me know if you are with me. Let me know, please. Just let me know. Just type continue if you are with me. Let me know. Please let me know if you are with me. Just type continue. Let me know by typing continue in the chat box. By typing continue in the chat box. Let me know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, in setting for day 2, August CPI number. Now, what is CPI number? CPI means Consumer Price Index. You all know that United States economy is the strongest economy in the world. So the whole, okay, Oluwanifishe, please unmute yourself and ask a question. I guess you raised your hand just now. Or was it a mistake? Okay, I'll continue. So August CPI number means Consumer Price Index. What does it do? It measures inflation. Now, US, unlike Nigeria now that we are chilling with 18% inflation, all these white men, they don't like inflation for their life because most of them aim in their currency, and when they aim in their currency, the purchasing power of dollar gets to decrease by the time inflation rises. So the government the US government plan is to keep inflation at 2%. Unfortunately, on June 2022, inflation rose to 9.1%. And that was one of the reasons why you are seeing this candlestick that is so big. Let me show you again. So apart from the fact that there's quantitative tightening, another thing is what? Inflation. Now, the reason why they did quantitative tightening in June that caused this bear market, that caused this red candlestick, was to control inflation. The inflation was so high that people were protesting that the government is not doing it. So they have to set their bonds, you understand? Now, like I said yesterday, the reason why there is high inflation in US is because they printed more than enough money during the COVID-19 market. You know, US citizens are not going outside, countries are inside, the economy is down. So the only way they can actually pay people for staying at home by giving them incentive is to print more money. And that was the reason why, that's the major reason for the inflation. Now, after the COVID-19, they realized that inflation was rising and it was 9.1. So for August, inflation number was 9.1, which made them sell bonds, right? For August, that was June. June was 9.1. For August, it is 8.5, which is a better number compared to 9.1. Now, if they will release another number by September 13. If it turns out to be lower than this 8.5, I can assure you that the decision for the FOMC meeting will favor the market and they will bring the market. Now, who are the FOMC meeting? Just like we have central bank, CBN governor here in Nigeria, those that sit down and disturb the whole country economy, that we don't even know what we are doing again. There are people like that in US too. They are called the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee. You understand? They are the ones that decide interest rates. They are the ones that are in charge of controlling inflation. You get? Now they said, their target is making inflation to be exactly 2%. But right now it has gotten out of hand. It is currently at 8.5. So another CPI number that measures inflation will be out by September 13. If it is lower than this 8.5, it is a positive number. If it is more than this 8.5, it is a negative number. Now, if it is lower than this 8.5, it will tell us that yes, the FOMC meeting will actually be good. And when it is good, there will be gains in the market, people will buy. Now, let me tell you something. Please take note of this. By September 13, I'll tell you the outcome of the meeting on the groups. But by September 13, if the numbers is lower than 8.5, we are going to see some gains in the market. The gains are not much. It's not that you now see Ethereum pumping from 1.5 to 2005. No. There will be gains that you can use as an advantage to take a buy long trade in futures. Of course, you are advised to use your stop loss, of course. But then if the next number that will be released by 8.5 is lower than to be released by September 13 is lower than 8.5, expect a good thing. Now, I said if the inflation rate for August turn out to be more or less than 8.5, the following will happen. Now, I've made conditions. The first condition is if it is less than 8.5, it means the inflation is getting reduced and the FOMC will increase the interest rate by 0.5. When they increase the interest rate by 0.5, people will be able to borrow more money and pump into the market. When they pump into the market, you will see volatility. Now, the last meeting they made, let me show you. That was when BTC pumped back to 24,000. I think, where is the candlestick? Let me try and find it. I think it was around this time. It was around here. So around there. Oh, my network. So if it is less than 8.5, that means inflation is reducing. When it's reducing, the rate at which they increase the interest rates will be low. Now, what does this, you should ask me that, what does this interest rate has to do with inflation? Interest rates increment or decrement will determine how people will be able to borrow money and pump it to the market. If there is a really high interest rate, people will sell their assets so that they will be able to pay the loans they actually borrowed. If there is a low interest rate, people will be able to borrow more money. Just as in someone, you go to Lapo, God forbid now, and Lapo say, okay, for every 10,000 naira you actually borrow from us, we are going to be taking 50% interest rate. That means you'll be paying 15,000 instead of 10,000. That is too harsh. You'll not be able to borrow. You feel like, how much is 10,000 are we paying 5,000 interest, 5,000 naira interest? But imagine if you go to Lapo and they say, okay, the interest rate is just 10% or 0.5%. That means you'll be paying 10,500. That 500 naira, that 500 naira extra on it makes it easier for you to borrow money and easier to buy any asset you want to buy. But if the interest rate is much, they will not be able to borrow money. And now that is the goals of the FOMC. They increase or decrease the interest rate so as to determine how inflation will be controlled. Now, if it turns out to be more than 8.5%, the FOMC may increase the rate by 1.0. When they increase the rate by 1.0, there will be sell-offs in the market. I repeat, if FOMC increase the rate of interest rates in the US by 1.0, they will sell off in the market. The day for the FOMC meeting is September 21 to 22. So if you are taking a trade that day, make sure you wait and see what will happen, because there will be volatility, either a sudden pump or a sudden dump. It has always been happening throughout my 2 years in crypto space. I've always been seeing it. So it is never a miscalculated deal. So there always volatility, either a pump or a dump. Now, I said if the CPI number increased to 8.5 or less than or greater than, and the FOMC increased the rate by 0.75, there is a 50-50 chance. Now, if that one is not clear enough, I make a summary of it. But before then, please, if you can take a screenshot of this, it will be very, very good. Another important date apart from today that we look out for is number one, September 13. Okay. September 13, CPI release date. If the numbers is greater than 8.5, there will be little gains in the market. There will be little red in the market. If it is less than 8.5, there will be little gains in the market. This is an advantage for you to take a long trade or buy trade in your futures trade. Get. Now, for the FOMC meeting that happens in September 2021, this is what you should look out for. Don't forget that the inflation is currently 8.5 and they are actually targeting 2.02%. So the way they do this is, number one, they sell off quantitative tightening. They sell off through quantitative tightening. That was what is starting today. Number two thing is what? They increase interest rates. Now, for summary, this is what, in case it is convincing, please take note of this. CPI greater than 8.5, it means a crypto dump. CPI less than 8.5, it means a crypto pump. These two pumps for this CPI on September 13, they are not much pump and they are not much dump. The one, and they will not really bring much volatility, but you definitely see gains, maybe like 2% increase or 5% increase on Ethereum, fine. But the Fed interest rate increase. Now, take note of this. If Fed increase the rate by 0.5, the crypto will pump. If you are buying coins for short term, our advice, you actually wait again. You understand? Second thing is, if Fed or FOMC, they increase the rate by 1.0, a crypto dump is inevitable. This has always been happening. People in my main group, my students, they've always seen this happening. Now, the third scenario is, if Fed increase the rate by 0.75%, there will be a what? There's a 50-50 chance. Let me write it, sorry. 50-50 chance. There's a 50-50 chance the crypto dump or pump. Crypto pump, sorry. Or pump. Now, these two scenarios what should take place for. Now, you should ask that how can you take advantage of this? Number one, futures trade on this day. Always wait for the results before you take the buy trade. In fact, days like this, I don't check the market. I don't analyze markets like technically. I only wait for the outcome and take my trade. Simple. Second thing you can do is now you see this FOMC meeting of September 2021, it will determine how the market will react for September and October. So the next meeting is till November. So if you're actually buying, if you're a short-term player in the crypto space, if you see that yes, Fed increased the rate by 0.5, I advise you to buy coin. I advise you to buy. If you see that okay, Fed increased the rate by 1.0, I advise you to sell the assets you are holding. It's very, very important. But if it's 0.75, you can actually wait for 12 hours or 1 day to see how the market will react since it's the 50% chance. So if you are seeing the long volatility, you should know that yes, you can also follow the crowd. And you see that okay, there is a dump, you can also follow the crowd. But then if you are a long term, like me personally now, I'm not buying any coins until September 2021. You can follow me, it's fine. The only coins I'm buying now is Ethereum and Mines of Galana, the two signal coins I gave yesterday, because I'm looking for long term. But other coins, I'm short term trader. So immediately I see that okay, Fed increased the rate by 0.5%. I'm buying. In fact, if I have $1,000 in my wallet, I'm buying. And when I'm buying, since it's short term, after I see that everybody has pumped the coin, I take my profit. If you know that you are on a short term player, please, you can take this advantage. It's very, very important. So please, for the next 5 minutes, I would wait to see if there will be any question. Please, if you have any question, please signify yourself by raising up your hand. And I promise this thing, this how to pay, I'll drop the link tomorrow. Tomorrow's class will teach you how to buy coins in the deep. Many people are just buying. Some people will be like, I bought one Ethereum at 1,000. I bought one BNB at $400. You're not supposed to buy it that way. Buying it that way is actually putting yourself in a disadvantage. So tomorrow I'll teach you how to buy the dip through dollar cost average. It's very, very important, and I will show you the secret of how to earn 5,000 to 10,000 a day. Now, okay, Olabimuti, please ask a question. Please unmute yourself and ask question. Please unmute yourself and ask question. Hello.
Right.
Yeah, please ask question.
Hello. All right, boss. The only I'm a beginner, so I don't know how to check the rate of this thing, CPI, Fed, and other stuff like that. I don't know how to check it. Maybe it's above.
Are you in any of my groups, like maybe Elite P2P or Elite Crypto Jobs? Are you in any of them?
No.
Oh, please, I'll type my number in the comment box. Please, anybody that is not there, you can always 081681074. Okay, please always try to message me. I've already tried creating I'll try making a video for beginners so that you can easily know what crypto is all about. Now, someone asked that
Okay.
I thought BTC and ETH were backbones. Why are you only buying Ethereum for long term? Now, the reason I'm buying only Ethereum for long time is because the effect of the merge will not take place immediately, because they will still wait and wait. You can still wait for 3, 4, 5, 6 months before the full adoption of Ethereum starts. So the reason I'm buying for long time is because the real Ethereum pump is not immediate. It is for long term. So I'm expecting Ethereum to trade above $10,000 when the bull run starts. So Ethereum is really long term, because I am very, very sure that Ethereum will pump in the long term. And of course, I take short term goals. How? I do something that is called arbitrage or scalping. You understand? I'll teach you how to do that tomorrow. So I have 2 wallets, one for storing Ethereum, the other one is on SEX. When Ethereum pumps to 1,700, I sold. I'm buying back when it dumps to 1,300. So I'm playing both games for Ethereum, but majority of my Ethereum are long term. So I hope that answers the question. And for BTC, the profit I'll get on BTC is not as much as Ethereum because BTC is already mature. You get BTC is already mature. So that's the reason why I hope that answer your question. Okay, I think one more person raised up their hand. Please unmute yourself and ask question for the next 1 minute, please. For the next 1 minute, please unmute yourself and ask question. Please.
Yeah, good evening, bro.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. So you talked about Mines of Delania
Yes.
and Ethereum as a long-term project. For the spite of cryptocurrency as well, because I know a lot of whales that actually paid further to further. This is what I witnessed to further CMC to see to make sure this. So I'm talking about. I went to the Mines of Delania trading group today. The amount of further I saw there is just thinking about, okay, will it still, like, on a long time, when we see something out of it, something positive?
Of course. The thing is,
I have two questions, sir. Maybe
okay.
after this one.
The reason, because let me just answer this one, then you can ask the other one of the group because we have limited time. You get now.
Okay.
Technically, the coin is actually in the lowest of its all-time lows now. Fundamentally, the coin is very, very good. And besides, if you know the background of Mines of Delana, it started as launchpad token on Binance. So it is trading on Binance. You get, and the vesting schedule, it makes it less susceptible to dump. So when the all-time was around $6, and the coin is now back to 2 cents. So in the long run, there will definitely be a pump. It is imminent. And another reason why there will be a pump is there are a lot of upgrades coming to the coin in the long run. They are starting staking, they are starting implementation on Android and iOS and a lot of things, you understand? And they're also making bounty rewards. So it is definitely a very good buy to try in the long run. Of course, you can take profits. So you get, but for the sake of the class, the time is almost up. You can ask the other person in the group. We have less than 1 minute now. I hope you understand, sir.
Okay, just this one, please. I think
you think we can see now. The meeting will actually end. So
all right, no problem. All right, no problem.
So I thank everybody
for
being in the class. Tomorrow's class will not be as wide as this, but it's very, very